Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kat. Okay, so for today's video, I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag, which is really popular around this time of the year. I don't even remember the last time I did an end of the year book tag. I don't remember the last time I even did a book tag, so I thought this would be a fun one to do because there's not a lot of questions. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Honestly, the answer is no, because I finish all the books I start. I have like reading OCD where even if I really dislike a book, I will finish it. I just have this impulse that I need to finish the book. So I don't have any books that are left unread, but I am in the middle of a book that I just started. So the book I'm reading right now, I just started yesterday, is called Vampires, Hearts, and Other Dead Things, and this is by Margie Fuston. This is what it looks like. And I'm so excited to just finish this book because I think I'm like almost 100 pages in and I already dislike it. I am not a fan, but again, because of my reading OCD, I just have to finish this book. So I'm so excited to just finish this book. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? 2 books came into mind. The first one is Slewfoot. This is by Brom, and The Wicked Deep by Sharon Shaw. Slewfoot is such an autumnal read. A lot of the book takes place in the months of September and October, and so you really get that fall vibe. When I read it, it was around September, October time anyway, so I feel like it was perfect, and I think it's just a great autumnal book. The Wicked Deep, I feel like, is a great transitional book as well because it really gives like this cold coastal town vibe. Like the weather described in this book is very cold, very gloomy, very dark, very rainy and wet. So I don't know, I just feel like that's a great transitional book too. So I would recommend Slewfoot by Brom and The Wicked Deep by Sharon Shaw. Question number 3 is there a new release you're still waiting for? The answer is no, to be honest. I don't really know release dates for any books, and I don't really anticipate any new books. Like, as books come out, I just learn about it, and if it's something I'm wanting to read at the moment, I will, but I don't keep track of books' release dates, like when they're gonna come out and whatnot. So there are no books that I'm really anticipating. Question number 4 is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So for this question, I don't really have an answer. I'm 10 books away from reaching my Goodreads goal, so I'm trying to figure out what 10 books I want to read. But 3 books that come into mind are The Vampire's Fake Fiancé. This is book 5 in the Nocturne Falls series by Kristen Painter. The Nocturne Falls series basically is about a town that celebrates Halloween all year round, and there's supernatural species that live in this town, and they kind of blend in with all the tourists. And the theme of Halloween in the town. And each book kind of explores the different romances between all these different supernatural species. The Nocturne Falls series is a great palate cleanser, so if I read something darker or heavy, then it's nice to read one of these books because I feel like it really is lighthearted. I would love to just like kind of continue on with this series. I also would like to get to Home Before Dark. This is my second Riley Sager book that I own. I read Lock Every Door and I did really enjoy that book. But I would also like to potentially get to this Riley Sager book. And then I would also like to get to a Glandi Vandera book. So I have The Oceanography of the Moon and The Light Through the Leaves. Glandi Vandera is such a treat. I read one of her books, so she has 3 books that are published. I really just want her 4th book out because I don't want to get through these 2 books and then have nothing by her to read. Her book that I read, Where the Forest Meets the Stars, such a delight. It's one of my favorite books that I've read. It is so beautiful and the characters are so beautiful, and so I really enjoyed that book. And these 2 books, I'm really excited to at least get to one of them. I don't want to like power through both books because then I'll have nothing by her to read. So I'm hoping to at least get to one of these, and I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Question number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? I don't know, like I never really have a book that's like a favorite of the year. I usually just have books that I enjoyed, but I have high hopes for a Glandi Vandera book. Like if I read one of her books, I feel like it'll become a favorite, but I don't think it'll be a shock. I don't think it'll shock me if one of her books becomes a favorite because I just have such high hopes for her. And question number 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for 2024? So yeah, I actually do have some ideas of 2024. There are 2 book series that I want to finish. There's 2 trilogies. I only have the last book in both trilogies left to finish, and then I'll be done. One of them is the Lady Helen series, I think it's called, and the other one is the Nevermore trilogy, and honestly, I'm so over both trilogies. I just hate that I have the last book left to read, and I really do not want to read it, but I really just want to finish the trilogy and just be done with it and kind of like close those trilogies off. So my plan is to kind of start off the next year by finishing off those trilogies. And then I want to start a Brandon Sanderson book. I've been wanting to kind of get into more fantasy stuff, and I feel like Brandon Sanderson is a great person to like kind of introduce you to fantasy. I do have the first 3 books in the Mistborn trilogy, I think it's called, and so they've been kind of sitting on my shelf for a while. I haven't had the courage or motivation to pick them up, but I'm hoping to get to Brandon Sanderson. I have never read any of his books, so I'm actually pretty excited. Then I would love to start the Throne of Glass series. So I have never read a Sarah J Maas book. I know I've been living under a rock. Everybody has read Sarah J Maas. I know a lot of people love her. They're huge fans. All of her books have become huge hits, and they're very popular, and the Throne of Glass series is very popular and like widely read. I've had her books on my shelf for a while too. Again, never had the motivation to start that series because I do want to dedicate like a lot of time to it, but I think I'll start that next year. Maybe I'll start Assassin's Blade this year. Kind of depends. Again, I'm trying to reach or finish my Goodreads goal. I only have 10 books left. But I definitely want to start Sarah J Maas's books, starting with The Throne of Glass. I also do want to start the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. I've heard great things about Laini Taylor. I think Strange the Dreamer is one of her well-known duologies. So is the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy. So I do want to kind of get more into her writing, and I feel like the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy would be a great way to do that. And then I would love to also read an Emily Henry book. I have not read a single Emily Henry book. I know everybody has read Emily Henry. Everybody's mom, everybody's dad, everybody's dog, everybody's cat has read Emily Henry. Again, I have not gotten to her yet, but I have beach read, book lovers, and people we meet on vacation sitting on my shelf. So I am really hoping to at least get to one of them. Maybe more towards the summer, but I'm hoping to get at least to one of her books next year. Alright guys, so that's the end of my tag. Please let me know what your plans for next year are, what your reading goals for next year are. I would love to know, and let me know what you're reading right now too. If you did this tag, leave your video below as well, or leave your answers below. I would love to know what your responses are too. And that, hope you're having a good rest of your day. Take care. Bye.